My boss stood on stage and took credit for my biggest achievement. The room erupted in applause. He smiled. I didn't. Because the numbers on that presentation were mine. The strategy was mine. And the one mistake hidden inside those numbers was his. He had no idea that 10 minutes later, the company's board would ask him a question he couldn't answer. And I was the only person who could. My name is Natalie Brooks. For 5 years, I worked at Westbridge Financial, a fast-growing corporate consulting firm. I started as a junior analyst and worked my way up. I worked late, I studied on weekends, I learned everything I could about our clients. Eventually, I became the person executives called when a major account was in trouble. My manager, Marcus Reed, noticed. Unfortunately, he noticed for the wrong reasons. Marcus wasn't interested in developing talented employees. He was interested in collecting their achievements. Every time I solved a problem, he presented the solution to senior management. Every time a client praised my work, he called it our team's strategy. And every time I asked about promotion, he told me to be patient. Then came the project that changed everything. Westbridge had been struggling with a major client called Halston Retail. They were losing millions every quarter. The board was considering terminating the contract. Marcus was ready to give up. I wasn't. I spent 6 weeks analyzing their sales data. I discovered something nobody else had noticed. Their losses weren't coming from falling sales. They were coming from a pricing algorithm that was quietly destroying their margins. I created a new model. Within 3 months, Halston's projected annual profit increased by nearly $14 million. The client was thrilled. The CEO of Westbridge called it one of the most important wins of the year. I thought my promotion was finally coming. Then Marcus called me into his office. I'll be presenting the results to the board next week. I stared at him. You mean we're presenting them? No, he smiled. I am. I knew exactly what he was doing. I had created the entire strategy. He wanted the credit. I reminded him that I was supposed to lead the presentation. He leaned back in his chair. Natalie, you're talented, but you're not ready for executive leadership. That sentence hurt more than I expected. Not because I believed him, because I knew why he was saying it. I was ready. He was afraid I would replace him. I decided not to argue. Instead, I said, "Of course." Marcus smiled. Good. That's the attitude I want. He didn't notice that I had stopped fighting, and that was his mistake. 3 days before the board meeting, I discovered something unusual. Marcus had changed one of the financial assumptions in my model. The original projection showed Halston gaining $14 million. His version showed $21 million. He had exaggerated the expected result. I emailed him. Why did you change the projection? He replied, minor adjustment. Don't overthink it. I wrote back, that's not supported by the data. His response came 5 minutes later. Leave it. So I did. But I saved everything. The original model, the revised model, the emails, the timestamps, and the exact formula he had changed. Board meeting day arrived. The room was packed. Marcus stood at the front. Behind him was a giant screen showing the Halston results. He looked confident. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm proud to present a strategy that has increased projected annual profits by over $20 million. I sat quietly at the back. Marcus continued. He explained the strategy. He explained the numbers. He even used one of my favorite phrases. Data doesn't lie. I almost smiled, because the data was about to expose him. Halfway through the presentation, the CFO raised her hand. Marcus? Yes. Where did the $21 million figure come from? Marcus smiled. Based on our revised model. Who revised it? He hesitated. Our analytics team. The CFO looked toward me. Natalie? I stood. Yes? Did you approve these projections? Marcus looked at me. For the first time that morning, he looked nervous. I answered honestly. No. The room went silent. The CFO looked at Marcus. Why not? Marcus cleared his throat. Natalie wasn't involved in the final revision. I opened my laptop. I was involved in the original model. I connected it to the screen. The original numbers appeared. $14 million. Then I displayed Marcus's version, $21 million. Then I highlighted the changed formula. The CFO leaned forward. What changed? I explained it. Marcus had removed a major cost assumption from the calc. If the board approved the strategy based on his numbers, the company could lose millions. Marcus interrupted. That was a conservative assumption. I shook my head. No, it was a required cost. The CFO looked at him. Did you know that? Marcus said nothing. Then the CEO asked the question that changed everything. Why would you present numbers you couldn't support? Marcus looked around the room. Nobody answered for him. Then I made one final move. I opened the email Marcus had sent me. Leave it. The CEO read it. Then the CFO read it. Marcus suddenly looked very small. The CEO turned to him. Did you instruct Natalie to leave the inaccurate projection in the presentation? Marcus. I believed the adjustment was reasonable. The CEO shook his head. No, you believed nobody would check. The meeting ended 10 minutes later. Marcus was removed from the project that afternoon. 2 weeks later, he was gone from the company. But something unexpected happened. The board asked me to lead the Halston account. Then, they offered me Marcus's position. I accepted. Not because I wanted his office, because I wanted the opportunity he had spent years telling me I wasn't ready for. 3 months later, Halston's profits exceeded even my original projection. The CEO announced it during an all-hands meeting. He called me onto the stage. You were ready, long before we gave you the title. I smiled. That sentence meant more to me than the promotion. Because for years, Marcus had made me believe that recognition was something managers gave you. I finally understood. Recognition is nice, but competence doesn't require permission. A few months later, I received an email from Marcus. He had heard about the promotion. His message was short. Congratulations. You proved me wrong. I stared at those words. Then I deleted the email. Because I hadn't spent 5 years working to prove Marcus wrong. I had spent 5 years becoming someone he couldn't take credit for. And when he finally tried, I didn't have to destroy him. I simply let the truth speak for itself. Sometimes the smartest revenge isn't exposing your enemy. It's giving them enough confidence to expose themselves.